Yo guys, just want to welcome back to another video, and we're going to be doing the weekly forecast today, and it's going to be on NQ. As you can see, your boy had a fresh trim, decided to look nice for the camera as always, and we're just going to get straight into it. Now, I just want to quickly make a disclaimer. Again, the free links are in the description to my Telegram if you guys want to sort of follow what I post and want to sort of get involved with VIP. Again, I did sort of give out a message over the weekend, I believe it was yesterday, explaining how I'm sort of going to start releasing my sort of strategy for NQ to the VIPs as well, so you sort of get that extra benefit when joining the VIP program, which again, you get my trade ideas and you sort of started to get the strategy that I use and what I look for on a day-to-day basis. Now again, you know that I've just recently sort of started switching to NQ, and I've been reaping the rewards of that sort of switch. In terms of the trades that we're taking, you can see by the executions, the sort of accuracy we're getting on that lower time frame. And I'm going to sort of always, as always, every forecast I always drop nuggets. So again, if you are here to learn, maybe I'm not forecasting gold, but the same concepts can apply on other markets. So if you start off by talking about the first week of the month, September, and how it was delivered, we know that if we start on the monthly time frame, we can use the prior month highs and lows, and that will determine what this month will likely do, right? So if we look at the month before that, so if we look at July and August, right, and I'm sure I explained this in my prior weekly, one of the prior weekly forecasts, right, we can see that on the low of the prior month, it failed to take out July in August, right? But however, the next target, as because it was really bullish order flow, price immediately went to attack July's high. And you can see that's where we did. And what did we do after that? After we took out July's high, we came back into the range and closed back inside the July high, basically. Now, what if we look at this month, we marked out the prior monthly high and the prior monthly low. Right now, the highs and lows are still intact. So these are still key liquidity levels that we can use when trying to figure out the monthly profile. Now, if we go into the weekly time frame, we can do the similar sort of thing where everything is broken up into days, right? To anticipate what will happen with this week, we can use the prior day low and high to anticipate what the weekly delivery is going to be like. So if we had marked out the prior daily low, sorry, the prior weekly low, I'm saying daily. So the prior week low and high can determine what the current week will do. And we know that the current week will refer back to the prior week's high and low, because these are reference points for the market to use. So since I've just marked out the prior weekly high, let me just mark this up here, and the prior weekly low. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down time frame just to show you exactly how the delivery played out. And then with a bit of breakdown, I'm then going to go switch to what the current week will likely do. So if I just remove some of these boxes, just because of the case of, just to keep it clear, we can see that when the market opened, you can see there's a Monday time frame here, the Monday daily divider, right? When the market opened on Monday, we were near the prior weekly low, right? So what happened on Monday is it sort of consolidated. I believe it was Labor Day on this day. Then Tuesday immediately rushed straight back below prior weekly low with this imbalance right there. So we can immediately mark this as a time-based fair value gap, right? Because it is the fair value gap that was created as soon as we broke through the prior weekly low, right? So this is going to be a significance, right? Because it broke through prior weekly low. Now, as price broke through the prior weekly low, you can see on Tuesday, it continued going down, taking out this liquidity pool right here and these lows here. We also had weekly S&T, which is now indicating that price will likely maybe reverse, right? So when it gave us this reversal and push back into this fair value gap, we were monitoring to see, does price close above it? You can see it closed back outside, which means that it was respecting it. However, on the Wednesday, as soon as the market opened at midnight, price immediately went up and closed above. If I drag this out, look how the market respected this level to a T and pushed up higher, right? This is because the market switched from a sell program to a buy program. It was at this point, guys, we're now safe to assume that the market has now taken out the prior weekly low. Where will it likely head next? Well, on a weekly time frame basis, the next reference point is the prior weekly high. This is the sort of higher time frame level that you can target. Obviously, yes, you can use prior daily highs. So if I mark that out, what happened on Wednesday? It immediately went up and it was trading down here, right? But we could have used Tuesday's high, we could have used Monday's high as reference points for price to attack as liquidity. But now if you want to go and zoom out and anticipate what the week will do, you want to use the weekly reference points. And that being prior weekly low and prior weekly high. The low was taken out first, and then price immediately ran straight to the prior weekly high. And now that the prior weekly high has now been taken, now Friday will then decide what the market will do to end the week. Will it continue climbing and respect the prior weekly high? Or will price just go back below? And you can see what happened is as soon as this candle closed back inside, the price is now back in, even on the smaller time frame. As soon as the price started closing back below the prior weekly low, then price will likely fall over and attack the NFP lows and back into this range. And you can see the similar sort of thing happened the week prior. We had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday was bearish, right? Similar sort of thing here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was bearish. So again, this is done to trap traders to sort of getting into longs really high up in the range. However, if you know that the reference points have been met, the prior weekly high and prior weekly low have been taken out, then you know that the sort of weekly profile is done now. So you're a bit late if you start coming into Friday. Yes, you could have looked for a short position, which is what we were looking for. I did call this on my Telegram as well. I'll quickly show you right here where I was anticipating price to push up and drop to the Asia low. What happened? Price pushed up and dropped to the Asia low. Simple as that. We called it. Unfortunately, we didn't get in because I didn't see a clean move for me myself as well. But I do go back and start saying that, yep, this could have been the move. Obviously, with hindsight at the occasion, if we look back now and start saying that had we had just followed this protocol, we would have been able to get into this move because that narrative was there. We were already anticipating a bearish move. So that is it. I hope you guys got, obviously no, that's not it for the video, but I hope you guys got some valuable information from that little breakdown. Now time to get into the real source, which is what's NQ gonna do next week. So we start off again, weekly time frame, right? And I'll mark out the, let's do that, the prior weekly high and the prior weekly low. We know that likely the prior weekly low will stay intact. Depends if price wants to go and flip bearish, but I have a feeling that prior weekly low will likely stay intact and the main aim could be a bullish week. Why? Because the market has still got the prior week low, prior weekly high, and the prior monthly high and prior monthly low. It's ranging, right? If you start seeing this sort of price action, you can go and drop onto the daily and you'll see it a lot clearer, that you can see that the market is doing this. It's ranging. We're not getting anywhere like clear at the moment. Price could basically push up and then push immediately back down and then push it back up in the middle. So we don't know if it's as clear, but because it's on the weekly time frame, we can still catch trades on the 1 hour, on the daily, because it's such a high time frame play. So if I just summarize this and bring these lines in so we can see them, we can say that on the 1 hour time frame, at the moment, price is in a sell program. Why? Because we had a bullish fair value, if I can bring that back, sorry, a bullish, where is it gone? I believe it was from the left here. Yes, it was this one here. We have this PD array, which is I was using. You can see that it was used as support here. Price pushed up, and then when it broke back below it, we used it as resistance. Price went back into it. What did it do? Used it as resistance and resistance and resistance. And when it went above it, used it as support. And then it was now obviously being traded through and traded back again. And then now price is now back above it, using it as support, right? So now we can use this and say that this is a potential level that we would like to see if price stays above. It's back above it. So if price stays above this level, we're likely to see price trade back higher. Now, if price closes back below it, right, then it will likely be used as resistance again to push price where? To the Friday lows, Thursday lows, Wednesday lows, and back into this range. So this is my key sort of indicator right here. This is the key PD array that I'm using to determine whether price is in a bullish program or a bearish program. Right now, looking at this market, price is now taking out external liquidity. It's come back to internal. I would like to see what occurs on Monday to see what we are doing at the moment. At the moment, we're in a sell program because we have this giant, huge, bloody gigantic fair value gap right there. Well, we don't know if it's going to be a significant one at the moment, but if price respects this and starts to push down into this area, and if it closes below this area, then we can look for shorts to continue and back down to this level here. But again, we have the prior weekly low and the prior weekly high. These are our main targets going into this week. So if price respects this and pushes higher, and then pushes higher, and you get more fair value gaps, and you see price starting to climb up towards this level, we know that price is likely to take out this, and then we want to see what happens at this area. Does price respect the prior weekly high, which is this imbalance? Does it want to respect this one now? There is another imbalance as well, which I did sort of see, which you could use, and that is this level here. You can drag that across. Again, another PDRA, so price can use these levels to potentially see that, okay, price is now closed back above. Does it want to go and attack the prime monthly high? This is what we want to see if you want to see that bullish order flow continue. Yes, this is a pullback, so if price sort of goes and respects this, then we know that price will likely continue higher. So I believe that's pretty much it for the weekly forecast. I think I've given enough information. Again, if you want to sort of get my updated opinion on what the market would be, then be sure to join my VIP. But other than that, right now, I'm saying that it's a bit meh at the moment in terms of where the market is or what the market likely will be doing. We're in a range. We want to see clear price, clear delivery, and we want to see sort of lows taken out and PDRAs sort of respected. So that's pretty much it from myself. If you guys want to join that free channel, don't forget to do so. It's been OaseFX. Peace out.